welcome back to my channel. To start this video, we have the verse of the video as always, and today's verse of the video is from Job, and it's Job 28:28, and it says, "And unto man he said, Behold, the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom, and to depart from evil is understanding." And he's basically saying this is where you find wisdom, and this is where you find understanding. You find understanding from God, and God gives you understanding in everything that you do. And he gives you wisdom in everything that you do, so you know what to do, what is right and what is wrong, and to leave what is wrong and do what is right. You have full understanding and full wisdom. So, as usual, let's get into the video. First, you need to peel and mash the ripe bananas. Next, add the sugar because the sugar breaks down the bananas. But don't add too much sugar because the ripeness of the bananas make it sweet. So depending on how sweet or how ripe your bananas are, that's how much sugar you put in. That's why I put either 1/4 cup of sugar or to 3/4 cup of sugar. Next, add the eggs in and mix it. You mix in the salt, ginger, cinnamon, and vanilla extract. Depending on how much spice you want, that's how much ginger or cinnamon you put in. But for me, I put 1 teaspoon of ginger and about 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, but it just depends on how much you want in it. Next, you put in the flour, and what I do with the flour is that I fold the flour in and then I mix and whisk afterwards. So it's best that you use a spatula. Sorry, I broke my spatula a few weeks ago, so it's broken and I'm using the bottom half of the handle. put in the oil or the butter, but I usually use butter. And when I use butter, I cube it and I cut it into tiny, like small cubes, and then I fold it into the batter so that there will be nice air pockets of moisture in it, in the cake. Not the cake, but the banana bread. But since I didn't have butter, I used oil, and I use a neutral oil because you don't want to oil like, say, a garlic oil that's very fragrant, even though you shouldn't use garlic oil in banana bread. But I use neutral oils like olive oil, canola oil, vegetable oil, things like that. Next, I butter the pan with regular butter or oil, it depends on what you have. And I just butter the edges and the sides and the bottom of the pan to make sure that the cake doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. If there's any butter left, I usually cut that up and put it inside the batter because there's no point of wasting butter. Now I'm going to pour the batter inside the pan. And once I'm finished pouring inside the pan, I'll make sure that all the sides are scraped and that there's no or little to none leftover batter inside my bowl. Now I pat the pan to make sure that there's no air bubbles in my batter. Now I set my oven to 350 degrees and I put it in for 45 minutes. Now I clean up the space so that once I take it out of the oven, everything's where it's supposed to be. So I put up like the stuff inside the cabinets where they're supposed to go, or inside the pantry where they're supposed to go. And yeah. I wash the dishes, and when I'm washing the dishes, since it smells like eggs, I put a bit of vinegar inside of it so that the smell can be neutralized and it can go back to smelling like nothing. Now I'm checking in the oven because the alarm went off, so I'm gonna see if it's raw or not. So to test to see if it's raw or not, you get a knife or a fork or anything that's sharp or whatnot, and you put it inside the cake or whatever to see if it's raw. And this works for anything that you bake. And so you put it in, and if it comes out clean, that means your baked good is ready. Since it was a little pale, I decided to put it back in the oven because you want a nice golden, not golden, but dark brown on the top, but not too dark to where it looks burnt. So I put it in for 15 minutes, but you should do 5 minutes at a time. Now you take it out of the oven and set it on a place to cool for at least 15 minutes. Now you can cut it since it's cooled down, and you can cut it in any shape or size. But for me, I do 4 rows or 3 rows of 4. And now all you have to do is take it out, put it on a plate, and serve it and enjoy it.